Sri Ram friends, welcome to Bharat Marg. Vinay ji, thank you for joining us. After a while, political analyst Vinay ji. Friends, Vinay ji talks more on the Canadian politics and what's happening in Canada. He is an expert at it. And you can go to playlist and look for in Bharat Marg. You can look for Vinay ji talks and you will see all his videos over there. Okay, just for your information, which will be more on the Canadian politics. And Vinay ji, today our topic is going to be so exciting, because when you think he is dumb, he cannot go any more low, and he proves it that no, I can still go low. That is the lamed Canadian PM Justin Trudeau, a power play by PM Modi. Okay, and Canada rift shows India's might. Okay, that's what we are going to talk about. And see here, folks, how for Khalistani vote, what is happening here. This picture should give you a whole lot of information. Okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to say? I will say it as you say. That's what is happening. Lamed Canadian PM, yeah, in a power play with the PM Modi. Okay, we will discuss about it. But before going further, friends, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people as you can. And also, friends, please make sure to subscribe the channel if you didn't already, and press the notification bell to stay connected. And do know that we are involved in multiple services like Sanskrit teaching, Vedic mathematics teaching, and also we are into matrimonial alliances. All these services we do for free, and we accept dan but no fees. Okay, and if you are interested, you can contact us, and we have multiple services, and below every one of it you have our WhatsApp number. You contact us, and we also send out one dharmic message every day, and you can now get it by sending a WhatsApp to +16479644790, and you can support us by doing a donation at bharatmark.com and by pressing a donate now button, and also by sending a WhatsApp. We can guide you accordingly. Okay, the WhatsApp number is given here. Vinay ji, thank you for joining us. So happy to have you here. See here, what do you think about this? Canada's rift shows India's might. Okay, what do I need to do? What do I have to say? Says Mr. Trudeau. And here we will also discuss about Lawrence Bishnoi. The RCMP has come out saying that Lawrence Bishnoi, who is in the jail right now, is the reason for the honored Canadian citizen to be eliminated. This was told by the Pakistani media, and now Justin Trudeau is parroting that. Okay, please go ahead, Vinay. What do you say?
Well,
Welcome.
the main issue is the false narrative that the Canadian media and the Canadian government is creating. So let me start off with the first piece of news that is, that headlined in National Post and Globe and Mail just yesterday. So basically, the headline news was Canada expels Indian High Commissioner and 5 other diplomats. Okay. Please make a note of that. I want to repeat it. Canada expels Indian High Commissioner and 5 other diplomats. This is the false narrative by the Canadian media and the Canadian government. So let's deep dive into what actually happened. Okay. So the RCMP Commissioner, Michael Duhamel, told a news conference in Ottawa that the force decided to take the extraordinary step of warning the public after Indian government officials refused to cooperate in an investigation into the threat. Okay, so it's not our normal process to publicly disclose information about ongoing investigations in an effort to preserve their integrity. However, we feel it is necessary to do so at this time due to the significant threat to public safety in our country. Okay, so apparently their investigations revealed that Indian diplomats and consular officials based in Canada leverage their position to engage in clandestine activities, including collecting information for the government of India. And evidence is also shows that a wide variety of entities in Canada and abroad have been used by agents of the government of India to collect information. So Duhaime went on and said the law enforcement, including the RCMP, have investigated and charged people in homicide, extortion, and other criminal acts. Okay, now the background to this is some time ago in June of 2024, sorry, 2023, a wanted terrorist by the name Hardeep Singh Nijjar, 45 years old, was shot dead outside a Sikh temple in Surrey, BC. It's a Vancouver suburb with a large Sikh population. And he was a Canadian citizen campaigning for the creation of an independent Sikh homeland carved out of India. All right. And so this was on June the 18th in 2023 that he was shot dead, assassinated. And apparently these people came in and shot him and took off in a car. And then in September, just a couple of months later, September 1st, 2023, Canadian trade official paused talks with India. All right. And then on the 10th of September, that the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, conveyed strong concerns about Sikh separatist protests in Canada. And he told this to Prime Minister Trudeau on the sidelines of a G20 summit in New Delhi. All right. And on September 18th, Trudeau told the Canadian Parliament that Canada was actively pursuing credible allegations linking Indian government agents to Nijjar's killing. Okay. And then 19th, which is a day later, India dismisses Trudeau's assertion as absurd. All right. And then, 22nd of September, India suspends issuing new visas to Canadians. And then 19th of October, Canada withdraws 41 diplomats from India. So they say 41 diplomats were withdrawn from India, but actually 41 diplomats were kicked out of India by the Indian government. Okay. And the statement was given by Foreign Minister Melanie Joly, who is another big,
another joker.
Exactly. And then the 29th of October, tens of thousands of Sikhs turn out in Sikh Sarai, BC, at the same Gurudwara where Nijjar was killed, to vote in an unofficial referendum on the creation of an independent Sikh state. Tens of thousands are actually about 340 or 350 people who are present there, because I have extremely reliable sources that actually told me how many people actually came in there. All right. Not tens of thousands. This is all Canadian media kind of hyping up the whole thing, right? So like this, there are so many things that happened. And then the worst thing that happened was, a senior Biden administration official in the United States thwarted a plot to kill. They said that there was a plot to kill Guru Patwan Singh Pannun, a Sikh separatist, a terrorist wanted by Indian government. That when he actually warned that all Air India passengers would be blown up if he asked them not to fly in Air India. And then he basically came back and said on the 22nd that there's a serious threat to his own life by the Indian government.
And Vinayji,
Yeah.
in fact, I'll just bring the point back here for you for a quick second. Okay, Lawrence Bishnoi. Okay, I'm hearing whose name every Khalistani pee in the pant, literally. You know what I mean? They are so afraid of him. They pee in the pant, literally, on hearing his name. And they are afraid when no matter which part of the world they are sitting in. He has so many sharpshooters, and they are afraid of hearing his name. and they may be eliminated. He's saying that if you want to divide my country, I will make sure you are not here no more.
Yeah. So in the
You know?
last item that I wanted to bring up in the
And no, no, I'll just say 1 second. Okay, his first attempt on Pannu was already it didn't go well. Okay, and as per the media sources,
yeah.
and but Pannu is still on the list.
Yeah, so that's why I just wanted to bring up my last item in the chronology of events, that on May 3rd, 2024, Canadian police arrested 3 people linked to Nijjar's murder. Okay. And then it turned out that these 3 people were connected with Lawrence Bishnoi. Now let's talk about Lawrence Bishnoi. Who's Lawrence Bishnoi, right? So Lawrence Bishnoi is actually a high-profile, criminal, a gangster, supposed to be, and he is right now lodged in Sabarmati, I believe, Sabarmati jail. Okay, and he's been lodged there for the last 10 years. If you don't believe it, you can look it up. Bishnoi was. He's 31 years old right now.
And one more news for the benefit of the viewers. Sabarmati is the same place the Lord Mahatma Gandhi was there.
Yes. So Sabarmati Central Jail in Gujarat's Ahmedabad, and
Right.
and he's apparently, like I said, he was lodged in the prison when he was 21 years old, and he operates out of the prison. Okay. So he's got a gang of 700 members, apparently, including sharpshooters, and they're spread across India, according to NIA. NIA is National Investigation Agency in India.
Around the world.
Right. And he's also got a huge influence in many other parts of the world, including Canada, United States, Europe, Australia, and he's got gang members in many of these countries. All right. And so basically the Canadian government said that Lawrence Bishnoi had a hand in the killing of Khalistan separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar on Canadian soil. So now let us go back to the original question of diplomats, right? Like who actually sent whom. So basically the Canadian media said that the Canadian government actually expelled the Indian High Commissioner and 5 other diplomats. However, if you look at Reuters, which is more a reputable, media agency, has said that it had, it clarified that India had earlier said that it had ordered the expulsion of 6. The diplomats in in Canada were actually recalled by the Indian government, and they were not expelled by Canada. So that's they clarified in that statement. And then on top of that, I also want to bring up to the viewers that India also not only recalled these 6 diplomats from Canada, they also basically expelled 6 top Canadian diplomats, including the acting High Commissioner, out of Delhi. So basically, they gave them 24 hours notice to leave the country.
Before 11:59. Before 11:59 on February 19th, you better clean up and get out. Otherwise, your immunity will be gone.
October, yeah.
And you could be in jail for all the criminal activities done by the Canadian diplomats. That's what.
Exactly.
And how do you see it? Means that he's a lame duck prime minister. Here he is sitting in because Jagmeet Singh wants to collect his pension by February, so he is a prime minister for that sake. This guy wanted to do the drama, Khalistani terrorist whose passport is banned. He cannot get into India, and he's the so-called leader of the political party of Canada, but he is branded terrorist of India. He cannot get in, and and to satisfy him still, he is doing this. Do you think this will yield him? He is already in the lame duck session. He
So
cannot do anything, pass anything, say anything, and he can fall anytime. And how do you see this
this is a
one?
great question and great point you brought up, actually. So thanks for bringing it up, because that's a very valid point what you just brought up. Why is Mr. Trudeau doing it? What is the affinity between him, the Khalistanis, Jagmeet Singh, NDP, and all of these people, right? Now let's talk about that, right, for a minute. So the reason Trudeau is still in power is because two no confidence motions fell through. The conservatives actually, put a no confidence motion in the parliament against Trudeau, but in both, and this is right after Jagmeet Singh withdrew his support officially. He withdrew his support for the liberals, and he basically said, "Oh, liberals are bad. Liberals are this. Liberals are that. I'm not going to support their policies. Their, all that." So that gave the, the kind of the courage to the conservatives to present the no confidence motion in the parliament. They thought that, okay, you know what? Obviously, if NDP is against Trudeau, they're going to vote against him, and then the government is going to fall, and there'll be elections. But guess what happened? NDP voted for Trudeau, and he was able to stay in power. Okay, the no confidence motion failed, and then Mr. Jagmeet Singh must have had some private conversation with Trudeau. He said, "Hey, listen, my vote bank, that is Jagmeet Singh's vote bank, is Khalistanis in Canada, and everybody is questioning me, the top leaders, the terrorist, separatist, extremist leaders, the killers, who have killed more than 100,000 people in India, have questioned as to, they've not only killed people, they've raped women, they've killed children, and that is the
And
atrocity."
one of the biggest terrorist attack in Canada, in the
Exactly.
Canadian
And
soil,
it's
ever
the worst
happened.
Canadian, worst terrorist attack in Canada, that Air India bombing. So this is the kind of people that actually are hand in glove with NDP. And NDP basically went and when sorry NDP leader went to Trudeau, I believe, and he must have said, "Hey, listen, last year this Nijjar killing happened, and the Khalistanis are questioning me as to what has the government done. So that is why it's almost a year anniversary is also been celebrated, and now you brought it up in the parliament just about in October of last year. What have you done about it?" That's what people are asking. So if you can, put another bombshell and say something like, that we are going to we have hard evidence against the Indian government and blah blah blah. This hard evidence is not coming out in the open. I'm still not sure what they're talking about, and that's exactly what the Indian government is saying, that, you know what, we these guys keep talking about hard evidence, but they've not presented any evidence against our officials here. And now he again put a bombshell and asked RCMP to make this announcement. And now that actually has given the courage and also the thing to NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, that yes, now Trudeau is with me and Trudeau is supporting me, and now he's gone back to his
No, no, no,
Khalistani
no.
friends.
I just want to bring something to you, okay?
Right.
I just want to bring something to you. Please listen to this, okay? And I know many of the people think that conservatives, Indians should vote, Hindus should vote. Okay, I really will question it. I think it is the chatta batta of the same coin, anyway. You may agree, you may not agree. And, this is what Pierre Polivier has said: any foreign interference from any country, including India, is unacceptable and must be stopped. He said in a statement, "Our government is government's first job is to keep the citizens safe from foreign threats." I want to ask these guys, each one of these guys, okay, the Conservative Party, okay, Conservative Party also sent its people for the so-called farmer protest, where the guy got 11,000 votes now in the Haryana election. 11,000 votes. Okay, total. They got 11,000 votes. Unbelievable. And they have sent their people to stand there and get the Khalistani vote, even the Conservative Party. My saying, Is all these guys are the same. There is no difference between the one to the other. What do you say?
I kind of I disagree on that. Actually, I should say. I see a statement. It's a normal thing for any when the investigation is supposedly being conducted by RCMP. It is anybody's normal statement
But
that
but but these guys keep the ice cream in the mouth when it comes to police station of China operating from Canada.
No, no. See, the thing is, end of the day, right? Every party, whether it is, they keep saying national interest, right? So that is the normal narrative of every political leader, political party in this country. Okay. However,
Hmm.
the fact of the matter is, there is a vested interest for liberals, the under Trudeau's leadership, why they need to support Khalistanis. What is the purpose? See, the thing is, they are losing their popularity among the true Caucasian Canadians.
But
Number
I
one.
have a question for you. I have a question for you. In fact, I want to say PM Modi, what you have done is a kick on the teeth for these guys. There is no question about it. Liberals got, Canada got kick on the teeth. But I want to make sure India goes and full-fledgedly ban all the trade with Canada like they have done with Pakistan, because Canada is no different than Pakistan. It's just a Pakistan of the West.
Exactly.
And India doesn't need Canada.
No, they don't. They don't. Actually,
It's
you know what?
other way. Man,
It's
you
the other way
stupid.
that actually
If you
Canada
put a
needs
ban,
India.
you are the one who is a sufferer.
Exactly. Now, all these Khalistanis, the so-called Khalistanis, I'm just going to talk about trade. You just mentioned trade. If India stops exporting food to all the Indian grocery stores to India, I mean from India to Canada, guess what's going to happen to all these Khalistanis? They will have to go hungry, and they'll have to
No, they
die
will
of
eat
hunger.
anything. They will eat anything. They go and get the halal food and eat.
No, no,
It
whatever it
doesn't
is,
matter
but
for
they will
them.
not be able to get the masalas, the garam masalas, the
They
all
they
the
they will get it
thousands of
from their
products that
Pakistani
they
bosses. They
no,
will
no,
get it from their
thousands of products
Pakistani
that come
bosses.
from India. If that
And of
stops,
course, Pakistan is standing with a begging bowl. That is
yeah,
different
yeah,
part
but
of the story.
the thing is, the Pakistani industry doesn't have enough food to support their own people. Where are they going to export? You got
Right.
to understand that. So India is the main exporter to Canada for to support all these Khalistanis for to quench their thirst and to satiate their hunger. Now, if India says, okay, you know what, we are not going to trade with Canada, we are going to stop. That's what's going to happen.
And they should do it, is my opinion. What do
Yeah,
you say?
absolutely.
Because Canada should be given the same status as Pakistan. Because see, every 5 minutes, you know better. You have done many videos on it. Every 5 minutes there is a car theft. Every 20 minutes there is a home break-in. Every kidnapping, rape, murder,
Yeah,
drug gang lords, everything. So it's no different. I
exactly.
think Modi government should do it, is my serious thought.
No, I think that is going to happen. Maybe, but it all depends because you know what, you don't want to see that. I'll tell you another thing, right? Let's say, for example, there are a million people who depend on the trade from India, right? Now, only about a small portion, 10,000 people of the million people are Khalistanis, the extremists and terrorists and whatever. Now, to put these 10,000 people in dire needs, you cannot compromise
No,
the
no. You see,
the,
when
the,
the
the
PM is
remaining
doing the
990,000, right?
see his the anti-Indian thing is in his DNA. His dad was like that. He
Yeah,
let the people get killed in Kanishka Airlines. So he is not no alien to anti-Hindu, anti. His DNA is like that.
yeah. Yeah,
So
and that's
I
where
think
that's a good point that you brought up. Actually, that's because that is where you see the difference between him and Polivier, right? Polivier can give all those kind of statements, but the thing is, Polivier's DNA doesn't carry that. Okay, number one. Number two, this is a standard statement that anybody gives. Anybody. In any political world, you'll see that, people, they give a standard statement. Okay. But Polivier has got a huge support by the majority of Canadians right now. If you notice, his popularity has gone up to 40%, 45%. It's gone. So whereas
I have a question for you. I have a
popularity is
question.
still in the teens, like
I
18,
have a
19%.
question for you. If you can just say, for the sake of the Canadians, okay, quickly in like 30 seconds or 40 seconds, like who is the biggest loser in this war, India or Canada? In
Canada,
your opinion, Canada is the biggest loser. Why do
absolutely.
you think so?
Because there is a lot to gain for Canada to keep its relationship with India, and it has a lot more to lose when it has this diplomatic
Already the students are not coming here. It doesn't.
yeah.
It is not a
So
favorite
it's going to
destination in
affect
India.
the Canadian economy in a huge way, because the Indian government, Indian people, Indian trade, everything supports Canada in a huge way. So it's Canada that's going to lose in a big way, because India is not dependent on Canada, whereas Canada is dependent on India.
And I have one final question. One final question for you.
Mhm.
That is, by cutting the size of the consulate on either side. Okay. Now, where are the travelers from both the countries stand? How long it may take? Will they get a visa? What do you think will be the
So
process
right
now?
now, I don't think it's going to affect any travel plans or any travel issues. People who already have OCI or visas here, they wouldn't have any issues
Yeah,
trying into
but the
India.
people who
And
want to have
likewise, the
visa.
same thing coming in. People coming from India to Canada, I don't think they'll have any issues so long as their visas are in place and all of that. But for issue of new visas, both countries are now short of staff. Okay, you got to understand that. Okay, the short of staff, it's the signing authorities that have been expelled or recalled or whatever it is. All right, both sides I'm talking about. So as a result, what's going to happen is the pile up of applications is going to is going to affect the processing of the visas on both sides I'm talking about, because six Canadian diplomats have been expelled from India, and six Indian diplomats have been recalled from Canada. So these are mostly the signing authorities. Okay, at the clerical level, they'll process it and all of that, but it's the final scrutiny that needs one of these top diplomats to kind of look at it and say, okay, all right, approved, or whatever, right? So that is going to be a huge hold up for processing visas. So that may happen for the future, maybe in the next month or two, you'll start seeing the effect.
And the guys who want to get married over there, in soup, means you want to go and get married to Indian girl or boy, and you want to bring them here, is pretty much gone now till the relationships.
Yeah, I mean, like
you know
it all depends on how soon, how fast the processing will kick back, right? Like until then, everything is going to be delayed.
my god, it's a big thing, but I think, your last word, anything
my
that you
my
want to say.
last word is, the end of the day, the diplomatic issues that have been happening is all because of the Liberal Party and Trudeau has to go, and that's the main thing that has to happen in this country. If the diplomatic relationship has to rebuild and has to happen. And just a quick one on Lawrence Bishnoi. I mean, like he's a pretty well known guy in the gangster world, I should say, and he's got a bunch of people on his hit list. And he recently eliminated Baba Siddiq, one of Salman Khan's, you know,
Close friend, and
close friend, and he
also
was
Bollywood mafia, and
yeah,
also ex minister.
ex-minister, NCP leader, and all of that. So basically, Lawrence Bishnoi, they're accusing, the Canadian government is accusing that Lawrence Bishnoi, or RCMP, I should say, is accusing that Lawrence Bishnoi is involved because of three people that were arrested last year, or sorry, earlier this year, are connected to the Lawrence Bishnoi gang. And Lawrence Bishnoi has been known to operate from within the prison. So there's a lot of unknowns right here, right now. So it's kind of difficult to say anything because there's a lot of
This is, I believe, what do you say? I believe this is the stupidest way to handle the foreign policy
exactly
ever.
100%.
Very immature.
Absolutely. This could have been done at a diplomatic level. What is diplomats? I mean, what is the job of a diplomat, and why are there diplomatic relationships?
Even if India would have done it, you would have handled it in a different way.
Exactly.
But
The relationship, I mean, the whole idea of diplomatic relationships between countries is to use diplomacy to solve problems, not to use these radical,
but I have one last question to you. One last question. You see here. You see here. This guy is doing what they say. What the terrorists say, he will do it. What the Khalistani will say, he will say it. He will parrot everything. Okay. Now in this, how do you see? Modi has shown his might and slammed PM, or Justin Trudeau, or Justin Trudeau has become a big man in this thing. Okay, that is question number one. Question number two is, will he gain votes by this drama? Of course, he ruined the Canada. That is different part of the story. No debate there. But will he gain the vote?
So answer your second question first. So he is not going to gain votes out of this because he's actually going to create some kind of animosity between the people who actually are not supporting the Khalistani movement and himself, because that there were a bunch of people who actually are non-Khalistani supporters who are actually supporting the liberals. But the more he is actually doing this kind of stuff, he's actually antagonizing those people, and he's actually pushing them away from voting for him. Number one. Number two, so your first question, what was it? You wanted to know whether sorry, can you repeat the first question?
Who has become big in this war? Okay, the Canadian Prime Minister is looking big of slamming India, or India looks big of slamming Canada?
See, the thing is, every country is. This is what
Who is the winner in this?
I just talked.
Let's see this as in the wrestling match, as a wrestling.
No, I
match.
just talked about it. Diplomatic relationship between two countries, the purpose of establishing diplomatic relationship, and this goes back to the way back when before even United Nations was established. They were having, I mean, they set up during the Second World War the diplomatic relationship between countries, and the whole idea was to use diplomacy to solve problems between countries, not accusations, and not going on a war, whether it's a verbal war or whether actually a physical war. Right now, India is using all kinds of diplomacy to kind of solve this. Hey guys, come and tell us what exactly you found out, and tell us exactly what your investigating agencies have found out. But Trudeau, on the other hand, he goes to the parliament and it's a one-sided communication. He's saying, oh, India did this. Or we have credible allegations against India. We know that Indian government officials are doing this. Like, is that diplomacy? No. Everybody in this, in across the globe will see that it's actually Modi who is using diplomacy and not Mr. Trudeau. Trudeau is it's a shame to the word diplomacy itself.
Wow, it's a powerful statement. Thank you, Vinayji, and thank you for coming and sharing your opinion. Friends, do let us know, what do you think. Do you agree with Vinayji or disagree with Vinayji? Let us know, and comment your opinion, and we would love to see it. And also share the video with as many people as you can, and expose. And if you are a true Hindu, if you are a true Indian, never give a dime to these guys. I'm saying you, just to take a photo. You Hindu, you are the worst creature if you just go and give these guys money and take a picture and come and post it in your profile. There is no lukewarm like you. is my opinion, of course. I have the right for my own opinion. Okay, see you, and in the next video. Till then, Jai Sri Ram, Vinay ji.
Thank you, Ji.